This is the story of a chimpanzee who said I love you. It's a true story, and it might just break your heart. In 1967, deep in West Africa, a baby chimpanzee was captured. Her family was gone, she was alone. But this wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of an impossible experiment. She was named Washoe. Two scientists, Alan and Beatrix Gardner, took her in. They didn't put her in a cage or a lab. They raised her like their own child. She wore clothes, ate at the dinner table, and had her own room with toys. The Gardners had a radical, almost unbelievable idea. What if a chimpanzee could learn a human language? Not spoken language. Chimps' vocal cords can't form human words. But what about sign language? So, from the very beginning, they only spoke to Washoe using American Sign Language, or ASL. They signed to her all day, every day. They signed eat when she ate, play when they played, more when she wanted more tickles. For months, Washoe watched. She was intelligent, curious, but she didn't sign back. Some people said the Gardners were crazy, that they were wasting their time. Animals don't talk. It's what separates us from them. But the Gardners believed. They believed connection was possible. Then, one day, it happened. Washoe, on her own, made the sign for more. It wasn't a perfect sign, but it was clear. She wanted more. It was the first time an animal had ever used a human language to ask for something. It was a breakthrough that would shake the foundations of science. From that moment on, Washoe's vocabulary exploded. She learned to sign open for doors, drink for her cup, toothbrush for, well, her toothbrush. She learned over 350 different signs. She wasn't just mimicking, she was communicating. She would sign Yumigo when she wanted to go outside. She would sign Gimme Sweet to ask for a treat. She could answer questions like who is that, and what do you want? Her world, and ours, was expanding. One of the most incredible moments came when she was by a pond. She saw a swan glide across the water. She had never seen one before. She didn't have a sign for swan, so she looked at her human companion, and she signed 2 words, waterbird. Think about that. She took 2 concepts, she knew water and bird, and combined them to create a new word for something she had never seen. This wasn't just naming, this was poetry. This was abstract thought. It was the kind of thing scientists thought only humans could do. Washoe was proving them all wrong. Her life was full of these beautiful, gentle moments of connection. One time, one of her human caretakers, Cat, had a miscarriage and was away from work for a while. When Cat returned, Washoe was distant, almost cold. Cat decided to be honest. She signed to Washoe, "My baby died." Washoe looked at her, then looked down. She was quiet for a moment. Then, she looked back at Cat and signed cry, tracing a tear down her own cheek. She then reached out, gently pulled Cat closer, and gave her a hug. She understood grief. She offered comfort. Washoe didn't just learn words. She learned emotions. She understood love. She would often sign "Please hug, hurry" when she felt anxious or just wanted closeness. She didn't just want food or play. She wanted reassurance. She wanted to feel safe, and she knew how to ask for it. The Gardners' project eventually had to move, and Washoe went to a new facility. There, she was given a chance to have a baby of her own. She gave birth to a son, Sequoia. She was a devoted, loving mother. She would sign to him, coddle him, and protect him fiercely. But tragically, due to a heart defect, Sequoia passed away. Washoe's grief was immense. She was heartbroken, signing for her baby, searching for him. Sometime later, the researchers introduced her to another young chimpanzee, an orphan named Lulis. When Lulis was brought into her enclosure, Washoe was at first uninterested. But then, she looked at the small, scared chimp. She signed baby, and then she signed my baby. She adopted Lulis. She took this orphan in and raised him as her own. And the most amazing part? The humans made a rule. They would not sign to Lulis. They wanted to see if Washoe would teach him, and she did. Ulises learned to sign, not from humans, but from his chimpanzee mother. Love and language were passed down from one generation to the next, from one species to another. Washoe's story changed science forever. It proved that the line between humans and animals isn't as clear as we once thought. She showed us that language, love, grief, and the need for connection aren't exclusively human traits. They are universal. But as with many groundbreaking projects, the funding eventually became a problem. The experiment had to end. Washoe and her family were moved to a sanctuary, where they lived out the rest of their days. She passed away in 2007, surrounded by the family she had built. Her story moves me so deeply every time I tell it. It's a story of hope, of connection against all odds, and of a fragile, beautiful dream. Right now, I'm trying to build something that feels just as hopeful, and maybe just as fragile. I'm starting something called Johina. In Arabic, it means little jewel. It's not a company in the traditional sense. It's an idea for a tiny, honest family of kind and caring people. People who choose to speak the same language not of signs, but of trust and support. The idea is simple. We grow together by gently placing 5% of our monthly earnings into a shared fund. This fund isn't for profit. It's a safety net. It's there to help every member feel safe, seen, and lifted higher when they need it most. It's for emergencies, for pursuing a dream, for simply knowing you're not alone. Right now, Johina is just me, holding this quiet hope. It feels a bit like Washoe, signing to an empty room, trusting that someone, somewhere, will understand. If her story made your eyes water, if you believe that connection is the most powerful thing in this world, then maybe you're the next person meant to be part of this little family. I'm not looking for just anyone. I'm looking for people who felt what Washoe was trying to say. If this speaks to you, send your CV, or just a few honest words about who you are, to the email in the description. I read every single message myself, and if we both feel that same gentle spark of recognition, we'll grow this together. One caring heart at a time, because love is a language anyone can learn. If you felt Washoe's story reach out to you, drop Johina in the comments below. Thank you for listening. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories that prove we're never as alone as we think we are.